Now, Sean, the only thing really left to do is to look in the crystal ball and let's start looking. Even though we're here at the end of August, let's start looking towards the end of this season and what that will look like. And we are going to run through, for starters, the conferences in college football. So we're doing the Power Four, Big Ten, ACC, SEC, Big 12 for our conference champions. Now, I do have Mike and EJ's picks. EJ sent them in via voicemail earlier today.
Well, I don't get.
Is that a lot? Is that an actual broadcast of the voicemail?
Yeah, I might have to put these through Google Translate because I'm not exactly sure what he meant there. But nonetheless, we do have his picks. So for the Big Ten, Mike has Ohio State. EJ has Ohio State. I have Ohio State as well. I'm sure that's a disappointment to some, but I just think that they are going to build on what they did last year. Hopefully there's at least one loss on that schedule, Thanksgiving weekend. But yeah, I think the Buckeyes are going to roll here in the Big Ten.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at it and I think while there's a lot of talk of Penn State and while Oregon may have an easy schedule and be flying high and quack in there with Mike and the boys, I just don't see, especially if Ohio State comes out of the gate. I know it doesn't necessarily affect the Big Ten, whether they win or lose to Texas, but I think that sets them up real pretty if they come out of there with a win. And like I said, whether they stumble at one or not, they're going to go into a game against Michigan where, I mean, I think that's the goal this year. I think if you get past it, you make the playoff, which presumably you're going to. I think some of the pressure's off once you're in the playoff. If you don't get the chip again this year, you still have one, right?
Right.
You got one. For Day especially, not the school necessarily. Obviously, they'd love to win another one, but for Day, it's not a must win in the playoff anymore. But that Michigan game, it's obviously not going to get him fired a year after a championship, but it's going to start some kindling.
Right.
It's one of those things where we've seen it just destroy and almost destroyed a Harbaugh.
It did almost.
A lot of people wanted him out. I think they're going to prep for that game. They're going to come through. They're going to blast through Michigan, and I don't think they slow down in four quarters. I don't think there's any. I think they run full speed the whole game, and then whatever happens after that happens. But they're going to be the Big Ten champion. I just, you can tell me how close Oregon and Penn State are. I just don't see it.
Yeah, I mean, similar to the Brian Kelly and season openers, similar to some other teams around the nation. Until Oregon does, they laid an egg in the Big Ten title game last year. Penn State laid an egg against Ohio State. Penn State laid an egg at the end of the Orange Bowl. So again, prove it to me when it matters the most. And I don't think they're capable of doing that. And in terms of Ryan Day, I mean, I think the only way that your job's in jeopardy this year is if you do have a couple of slip-ups in the regular season, and then again you lose to Michigan in Ann Arbor. They got here's the thing: I'm not thinking they will, but obviously I picked them to win the Big Ten. They lose 3-4 games in the regular season, but you go into Ann Arbor and win, people are probably okay. If you lose 3 games in the regular season, one of them being Michigan, and say maybe that's in the first round, again, you're a year after a national title.
You can't have a flop of a year and a
5 straight losses to that team up north. It's gonna get loud. It's gonna get real loud.
There's only so many times you can say, but we know we're better than them.
Right? Yeah, we're better. We're the better team. Are
That's great.
you?
Not that day you weren't.
Are you? Because now it's back-to-back coaches that because then all of a sudden Sharon Moore has 3 wins against you.
Yep.
So it'll get loud. It'll get very loud. All right, moving to the ACC. A little bit of a difference of opinion here. I have Clemson. EJ has Clemson. Mike has SMU getting the ACC title this year. We saw them lose in the title game last year, lose in the first round of the playoff. But Mike has SMU learning from last year's mistakes, getting the win in the ACC.
ACC, obviously a lot of folks have Dabo. I have them getting off to a slow start here in week 1. But man, it's so hard in the ACC because my 2 favorite teams are just teams that I can't stand to say will win in any way, shape, or form. So out of conference schedule, I'm gonna have Dabo taking an edge. But when it gets into that conference and these teams start hitting their stride, and the news and some new players start to get working, especially namely a quarterback from Georgia, I think you may as well get those gold chains out and keep them out because the University of Miami is I think they're going to steamroll right through it. I think they tightened up the ship. I think they got bigger and faster and stronger. I think they learned from a lot of mistakes last year in what they thought were easy games and what they thought were gimmies and, when to take the foot off the gas. And I don't think they do this year. And I think that Miami comes out of the ACC on top of Clemson and everyone else.
Wow. Okay. So 3 different teams on the prediction
Canes
side as your ACC champion. Moving on to the SEC, EJ sticking with one of the tried and true classics as the Georgia Bulldogs. Mike and I have the Texas Longhorns. Matthew McConaughey. All right. We'll enjoy that. But yeah, we have Texas again. Kind of performing to that level that they've been at, wanting to make that extra step. More on that in a second, but winning the SEC this year.
Is it 2-2? Did you say you have 4 picks?
No, EJ, Georgia,
Just
me,
one
me
Georgia, 2 Texas.
1 Georgia, 2 Texas.
So I could even it up if I wanted to, because I am an Eagles fan. We love watching our farm system play.
You're Georgia Green.
Yeah, we love watching our farm system play. So roll Tide, go Dogs at the same time. Keep breeding them down there. I mean, Georgia's been the cream of the crop for a long time. And, obviously the coaching's there, and I think it's a hard place to play. And I don't think there's a lot that can stop them. But cue up Lee Corso.
Not so fast, my friend.
Because there is a team in Texas, and there is a Manning in the conference, and there is a team out trying to prove that they belong. And I think they started to last year, and I think they continue it this year, and they put an exclamation point at the end of it. Give me the Longhorns to win the SEC outright. All right. That was just for you, Matthew.
Here we go. All right, and last one of the Power 4, we go to the Big 12, and we have some differences of opinions here. EJ,
it's the Big 12.
Because it
has nothing to do with
everybody can win and nobody matters. But EJ has Utah.
Did you say Utes?
Utah.
He has the
Utes.
He has
EJ.
the Utes. Mike has Arizona State on the repeater. And I have, despite a conference loss in Ireland this past Saturday. For God's sakes. And also
I think you can afford a loss or 2 in this conference, James.
I think you can. And the loss of my first parlay loss of the year, by the way. First parlay of the year, first leg of the year, first loss of the year. We're back, baby.
We're right in it.
And the
James
other 3 legs hit.
Form.
It should have been fine Kansas State over 13.5 in the first half. God, what was it? Death taxes in the over in the Big 12? The first half of the season, and it goes under.
Well, you're in mid-season form, and if there's one thing if there's one thing that attracts, it's that it's a new Big 12.
Yeah, so
the brand new Big 12. They've been selling
it was a no sweat. I got my $5 back. We've already rolled it into this coming Saturday, so we're back, baby. Another loss coming for me, but I have Kansas State Wildcats getting the win in the Big 12 there.
Wildcat. Oh, you got to get that on the soundboard. Owen Wilson from Royal Tannenbaum's just going Wildcat.
All right, put it down. Mark it down.
Mark it down. Wildcat. I mean, I don't hate the pick. It's hard to hate anything that anybody picks out of this ludicrous conference. But if there's one thing I can do, it's I'm going to look at the rosters up and down, and I'm going to look at the recent history, and I'm going to take the team with the kind of strongest pedigree coming in. And never thought I'd say this in a conference, but I think it's Arizona State. And so I'm going to ride with Mike. I'm going to take the repeater, and I'm going to take Arizona State with very few losses. Like if they'd have come up in the over-run, I'm sure they're going to.
Here's another soundbite for the board with Will Ferrell. You're the devil.
You're the devil. That's a good one. Yeah, we got to get some for these team names out here. Yeah, give me Arizona State. I think Sun Devils roll and they go way over whatever Vegas thinks their win total is going to be. And
What was that 8.5? So yeah, you would definitely
9 or 10, no problem.
you definitely take them
I
over.
think they're that much better than the rest of the teams there.
All right. And all right, let's go to the Heisman Trophy before we get into college football playoffs. Your Heisman Trophy winner, EJ. He's going to our pal Brian.
Family.
He is Garrett Nussmeier, quarterback of the LSU Tigers,
thank God.
getting the Heisman Trophy.
I almost put Nussmeier in, and I didn't. So
that's probably
EJ has him. We're fine.
Yeah, they bring the in cold.
I thought I heard a Nussmeier in there.
We did. I think it was somewhere in that second syllable. Mike and I we're on the same boat. I'll hit the button for me and even for him. Give me running back out of Notre Dame, Heisman Trophy winner number 8. Jeremiah Love.
Yeah, I'm gonna skip the homer pick on this one only because that homer button's gonna go down a lot later. We're gonna hit homer a lot.
Just warm it up.
I'm gonna go. I mean, I got Texas running the SEC. I got Texas running into the college football playoff. There's a Manning in town, and there's no better media drawing name at a Heisman Trophy reading than a Manning, especially when there's a good bet he may come back and try to do it twice.
Right.
I think if he has the season I think Texas is going to have, it's going to mean that he's having the season that everyone thinks he's going to have. And if he does that, I think it's going to take a heck of a performance somewhere else to even steal votes from him. So I'm going to take Arch Manning, and I'm going to set up the chance to repeat if he comes back to Texas.
I wonder what the odds are. He's got to be the favorite, right?
I would assume.
All right, let's pull it up here, courtesy of FanDuel, if I can get them loaded. Yeah, Arch Manning the favorite plus.
I'm showing Manning on my list at
plus 700. Klubnik from Clemson, Nussmeier from LSU are plus 900. Jeremiah Smith from Ohio State plus 1100. Carson Beck from Miami plus 1800, and South Carolina's Lenoris Sellers is plus 1800.
If Carson Beck wins the Heisman with Miami, they're probably going to win the national championship.
How is Jeremiah? Dude, I might put some.
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with running backs winning it. Like it doesn't happen.
That's true because Jeremiah Love is plus 3,000.
Yeah, that's worth a small shot.
Yeah, that I mean, because even at $1, it's what, $300.
Yeah, you got to cover your week 2 losses.
sure would. But yeah, there you go. So Arch Manning, no surprise there. Your odds on favorite.
Well, I'll take the odds favorite then.
So now we are going to look at the 12 teams that make the college football playoff. So last year we tried doing the 12 teams and then opening matchups and this, that, and the other, and it got very confusing. So I decided to learn from my mistakes. And fix it a little bit. So we're going to look at the 12 teams. Now this year, different than last year, there's no top 4 seeding for the best 4 conference champions. It's the top 12 teams as they are ranked. Obviously, if a power or if a group of 5 conference champion, they like the power 4 conference champions, group of 5 best champion get in to the college football playoff, but they don't get those automatic buys in the top 4 spots. So like if say Boise State, if they run it back, they're the best group of 5 champion and they're ranked 16th in the country, they would get the 12th spot. They would bump the team who's in 12th out, or theoretically.
So there have to be 5 conferences represented.
Correct. So yeah, the 5 conference champions still get into the playoff,
but are not necessarily guaranteed any specific seeding.
Right. So if any of the conference champions are lower than the 12th spot, this is actually a much easier way to present it. Any of them are lower than 12th, they automatically get 12th, 11th,
Right, as
so
long
on.
as they're the 5 high, like if they,
As they are as long as they are the highest.
like presumably you're going to get SEC, Big 10, potentially ACC represented just on the rankings. And
correct.
then there would be like 2 other ones at play, whether it be the Big 12, the Pac-12, the Mountain West, the Sun Belt, like all of the, like whichever the winners of those are the 2 highest, they would join the other 3 in the no matter where they're ranked. So just so I know I didn't screw this up, because I'm looking at your bracket and I was debating it and I was trying to search for it and I just gave up. When the 4 come back in, when the top 4 with a bye come back in the quarterfinals, do they reseed? Like, would the one draw the lowest?
No. So that's one of the flaws in the college football playoff that they didn't fix yet.
Because, like, to me, if you're 1, like, say you got Texas rolling in with a head of steam, number 1, they should get the lowest winner of what's left. But they don't.
Now, if all of the higher seeded teams in round 1 win, then they would get it would play out that way.
So
but
they base it off of like whatever the higher seed originally was.
Theoretically, this is one of the flaws, and
so the 4 are gone. So wherever the 5 is, that's going to line up with the 4.
Correct.
Right, and wherever the 3 is, that's going to be your 5 or your 3. The 3 is going to get the 6. So it's going to go from there.
Right.
And if there's an upset, it just fucks everything up.
They don't currently. They don't reseed. They don't reseed.
Gotcha.
The bracket is the bracket, and that's the bracket. So I have mine, and I filled mine out as I have it going. So I'll put it up later, so we actually get a visual of what it actually looks like on screen. But we will start. Let's start with the 12 through 9. So we'll go with the bottom 4 teams that qualify for the college football playoff. I have EJ's here. He has Boise State at 12, Arizona State 11, Oregon 10, and LSU at 9. Mike has Boise State at 10, at 12, Alabama at 11, Oregon at 10, and Clemson at 9. And for me, I have Boise State at 12. So there's a common theme there. Boise State going to be your group of 5 conference champion representative, getting in at the 12 spot, probably bumping somebody out. LSU at 11. So I do have Brian Kelly and company making their first college football playoff. Michigan at number 10. And Kansas State, my Big 12 champion, at number 9.
So you want me to run to 9?
Yeah, go 12 to 9.
All right. At 12, I also, like EJ, have Boise State getting in with an automatic bid. No idea what they'll be ranked, but I don't see any. I couldn't find a Pac-12 team I liked better. So I'll go with them. I have Brian Kelly, our family, sitting there at number 11.
Family.
I think they're going to have a strong season. I think it is a semi-Heisman run for Nussmeier, but I don't think they finished high enough for him to be in consideration. Then I have SEC rival Alabama coming into the top 12.
Alabama.
And then a 10 or 11 win Big 12 champion Arizona State getting a ridiculously high 9 seed.
All right. Next group, we're going to go 8 to 5. EJ has Penn State at 8, Florida, the Gators.
Come on, EJ.
At 7.
Well, I don't get the ring the head cold, but
I can't wait for when he's actually on a show and I'm like, EJ, what are you thinking? And you just press that over him talking. Because EJ, explain yourself.
I just mute him. Texas at 6 and the Utes at 5.
Did you say Utes?
His Big 12 champion.
Say 5?
Getting getting to the
How
5
good does
seed.
he think they're going to play?
Apparently very good.
Did you say Utes?
And yet his Heisman winners in LSU.
I know, but
He's hedging his bets.
he's not here to defend himself. He's the hot takes guy.
That's him.
He's the hot takes guy. Mike, as the board reloads, Mike has Penn State at 8, LSU at 7, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish at 6, and the Georgia Bulldogs at 5. For me, I have the quack. I have Oregon at 8, Alabama 7, Notre Dame 6, and Penn State 5.
Sounds like a lot of similar teams, except EJ's list. I'm going to take. I also have the Oregon Ducks at 8. I have Dabo's Clemson Tigers at number 7. I have Penn State at the 6th seed, and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish at 5.
Yeah, so a lot of similar thoughts there. Just a lot of the same teams kind of hanging around where they start, where they finish.
For sure.
And then the top 4, so the teams getting the bye. EJ has Notre Dame at 4, Clemson 3, Ohio State 2, and Georgia 1. Mike has SMU, your ACC champ, at 4. And maybe Mike didn't remember that they don't get the bye, or maybe he thinks SMU is just gonna scorch the ACC. But SMU at 4, Arizona State 3, Ohio State 2, and Texas at 1. I have the Georgia Bulldogs 4, Clemson 3, Texas 2, and the Ohio State Buckeyes at 1.
I have your ACC champion Miami Hurricanes at 4. I have the Georgia Bulldogs at 3. The Texas Longhorns at 2. So I got 2 SEC teams at 2 and 3. And then I have the Ohio State University coming in as a 1 seed.
I just thought when you were,
I had Texas as a 1 and I switched it, and they're just barely crossed out. So I almost botched that up reading it back, but I definitely have Ohio State 1.
I have another one for the board,
especially after predicting they would beat Texas.
Your ACC champion in the movie Rudy, when D-Bob yells Miami. I feel like that's got to be one that goes on the board. Probably smart it in.
You'd be happy to know I went off on somebody who made fun of Rudy in the past week, and told him, I was like, look, I don't even care if you like college football. I don't care if you know the real story. I don't know what the reason you hate Rudy is.
Yes, it's played up for the
But I was like, if you like Vince Vaughn, then you need to appreciate Rudy.
Vincent Vaughn.
He was Vincent Vaughn, and you had John Favreau, and
the cast is phenomenal.
One or both of them were ready to hang it up. They just weren't getting any traction, and they were like, but they met and they talked and they did funny
last
scripts.
Practice of the season, and this
swingers and a maid later. They both had some career traction, and
they've done okay. They've done okay.
They've done fine. I think that Vince Vaughn's going to finally get a big film.
Maybe. Might make out and do something. All right, so now we're going to look at the college football playoff semifinals. Again, once we get to the national title game, national champion, I will show mine on the screen just so we see how the seating and all that works, but I don't want to give anything away yet. EJ in his semifinal games, again, I think the number 1 team gets to decide which game they play in, but for the sake of continuity, I have the Fiesta Bowl as our 1-4 matchup, like the 1-4 winners matchup. And I have the Peach Bowl. So it's Fiesta and Peach are your semifinal games this year. Peach Bowl as your 2-3 winners. So EJ has Texas versus Georgia in the Fiesta Bowl. He has Ohio State and Florida, the Gators.
Well, I don't
as your Peach Bowl. Mike has your Fiesta Bowl, Texas versus Georgia, Ohio State versus Notre Dame as your Peach Bowl. I have Georgia versus Ohio State in the Fiesta Bowl, and I have Notre Dame versus Texas in the Peach Bowl. So, Sean, what do you have for those?
Okay, so my 8th seed, I don't understand. I don't understand the next round. So I'm just gonna. This is the winners without the top 4 in it, or we have jumped around.
We are into the semifinals. So, like, as you're looking at the screen, it would be.
I would jump around.
Yeah.
Okay.
You jump around a little.
The 4s, the 1 through 4 have come in. They've played, and now we're at the next round.
Correct. We are second.
Cool.
We are second to last. We are.
Okay, so I have. How's that even possible? So there's 4 games. I got you. So I have.
No, 4
I have
teams, 2 games.
So I have Notre Dame was my 5 seed. So wherever that goes, I have them playing the University of Miami.
So that would be the Peach. In this scenario, that would be
a 4-5 matchup in I guess the Peach Bowl.
I think that would be. You had Miami at 4
and Notre Dame at 5.
So I don't think you actually couldn't have them. Because Notre Dame would
be the highest of the seeds, so they would play the lowest of the.
Okay, yeah, I'm playing out to the next. Yeah, you're in the wrong round. I'm playing out to the semifinals. So it would be who would do you have winning Notre Dame?
Well, I had Notre Dame winning that because I had Notre Dame beating Boise State and then Miami.
Okay, so you have Notre Dame in the semifinal.
Yeah, and I got Georgia beating LSU to get to play Notre Dame. So I have Notre Dame, Georgia. I don't know what bowl I'm in because I did not have an actual sanctioned bracket in front of me. So I only have 2 games then, though.
Yeah, because we're in the semifinals. It's 2 games.
Okay, so I have Notre Dame, Georgia, and I have the number 2 seed Texas Longhorns against the number 1 seed Ohio State Buckeyes.
Okay, so actually, and we'll see it in a minute, but actually, based on where you have the seeding, you would have Notre Dame versus Ohio State in the 4-1, and you would have Texas Georgia.
Okay.
In the Peach Bowl.
Okay.
So yeah, write that down, and then you could pick the winners, and because that'll be your national championship game, and then your national champion.
So I have Notre Dame,
Ohio State in the Fiesta Bowl, and you have Texas, Georgia in the Peach Bowl.
How could I have Notre Dame if Ohio State was my 1 and Notre Dame was my 5?
Because and you'll see it here because as the bracket sits on the screen right now, the 5-12 matchup, Notre Dame would move on to play the 4 seed and then go into the semifinal.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
5 would go play the 4, which I had, and then the winner would play the winner of 1 something. This is the dumbest.
Yeah, them not reseeding.
Well, this changes my whole final game. This is dumb. So Notre Dame, Ohio State, and I still get Texas, Ohio. Or
you get Texas, Georgia.
Texas, Georgia. Okay, I'll keep it the way it is then.
Okay, all right. Now we go to the College Football Playoff National Championship game. EJ has Ohio State versus Georgia, and he has the Bulldogs winning this year's College Football Playoff National Championship. Mike has Texas versus Notre Dame in your College Football Playoff National Championship. He has the Texas Longhorns winning your College Football Playoff National Championship. I, again, despite some of the nasty rumors, just kidding, some of the rumors about going over Homer on me, I do not have Notre Dame beating Texas in the Peach Bowl. I have Georgia and Texas in my national championship, and I have the Texas Longhorns as your College Football Playoff National Champion for this year.
So I like my national championship game lined up even better with the new alignment. With Texas, Georgia, I have an SEC potentially SEC championship game rematch, and I have Texas winning it for the second time.
Okay,
and I have a national championship game rematch now. This would be a great semifinal to sell.
College football is actually kind of praying for this.
This would be perfect for them. I'm going to take, and I have the Irish beating Ohio State this time around. like I said, Ohio State, this isn't, while it's the ultimate goal, I think Ohio State can afford a slip up. I don't think Day needs it, and I think Notre Dame does, and I think we beat them. So that sets up Notre Dame, Texas, just like Mike said. I believe my finals last year was Notre Dame, Texas, and I think I picked against Notre Dame in that one. So this year I'm not going to. I'm going to take Homer. You can hit that button as many times as you want.
Not so fast, my friends.
Yeah, I say, give me the Irish. Why not? I really think Texas would probably walk through that game. It's a good bet most days. But you know what? Not every day. And this is my time on the mic, and this is my section of the podcast. And if you don't agree with it, you can go after yourself. So Notre Dame national champions. Go Irish.
Joe Buck yourself.
The beauty of this, if Notre Dame were to win the national title, our last win last year was at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami in the Orange Bowl.
Right.
Our first game, and hopefully win, this year will be in Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. And the national championship this year is at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami.
So you're telling me there's a chance.
So
you're saying buy tickets to the national title game right now.
That's what I'm saying.
Me. Find a seat, pay whatever it costs.
So if you're on the video side, if you're on YouTube, I do have the full bracket as it plays out. So again, we talked about this last year. The college football not reseeding is ludicrous. We hate it. We're not a fan. Now,
I see why it lines up the way it does, but God, that just looks awful to me.
Right. So again, and as it played out last year, because all the 5, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8, those teams won last year. So in that scenario, the second round plays out correctly as far as
and the 8-9 can't really screw it up.
No, it's everybody else.
It's the other games, yeah.
Because like had Boise, in this scenario on my bracket, if Boise State upsets Penn State, theoretically they should be moving on to play Ohio State.
I don't see how college football doesn't see it because college football would love, because you expand it to 12 teams, they would love nothing more than for a 10 to 12 seed to win their first game and be like, look, anyone can do it, right? And then. But then they go through, get mauled by like a 4 seed.
Not so fast, my friend.
Right? Like the 11 seed goes in and plays the 3 instead of the 1. But then your 1 draws like a 2 or 3 loss, like Georgia team.
Yeah.
And gets murdered. And then you're like, well, now my 1's out. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know.
I think the reason they do it, and it's not a good reason, but like hypothetically speaking, if you're sitting there, Boise State, they're playing on my bracket as you see it on the screen. They're playing Penn State in the first round.
Correct.
Boise State fans think we can beat Penn State. They already know they're going to move on. Like, let's just pretend that that's the Sugar Bowl. Right. Boise State fans can already start buying tickets to the Sugar Bowl. Like, so they
know who they'll play.
They know where they would be going. Right.
Right.
But if they win and it's a reseed, for Boise State, it would automatically be whatever game is the 1 game. But those other 3 games, you could be going to the Sugar Bowl. You could be going to the
your
Rose
12
Bowl.
Seed is going to know either way.
12 teams going to know, but all the other ones aren't.
But I hadn't thought about that. That's a good point.
Yeah, so I think that's why they do it. I don't like the answer why, because the bottom line is anybody. And maybe I'm being stereotypical.
I don't think it's stupid because a lot of the fans aren't going to do that and book ahead of time.
Right. The people that are, though, are the people who have money. They're going to be able to afford to pay the last minute airfares anyway. And maybe I'm naive to think that
anybody willing to my team might make it, so we'll pay extra money to buy them. Like you just hold all the tickets.
Yeah.
And you said they're not going to not sell out.
I think we will get to a point where they reseed. They already corrected from last year to this year.
We just need something to mess it up.
Right. Like we already corrected from last year to this year the conference champions getting the 4 byes, because that kind of, because Penn State had an easy road to the Orange Bowl. They drew SMU and Boise State, and they shouldn't have that. They shouldn't have had that easy of the road.
No,
like there was other teams ranked higher should have had easier roads theoretically. So that's why they corrected that. And who knows? Next year we might end up having a 14 team. So all of this chatter might be moot anyway. But yeah, you see it on the board there. You see how it plays out. Teams advance. I have
it's wacky. It's weird. It might be fair or not.
there's some matchups on my board that college football would love. Alabama hosting Michigan.
You're right. Ohio State, K-State would be
college football would love that. College football is dreaming of a Notre Dame LSU matchup in South Bend. Dreaming of that. They're also dreaming that Michigan ends up playing Notre Dame in like week 1 of the playoff. But like Notre Dame Clemson would be a fun matchup in the second round. Alabama Texas would be a fun one. So there's some fun matchups there. But yeah, I think eventually we do get to the point where you will get
the one pro is if my final last year / this year, if Notre Dame Texas is the final game of the college football season, the one solace I will take is if Notre Dame were to lose another one, it's still a college football team that I think winning the national title is good for college football and it hurts nobody unless you're from Oklahoma. Right. And I don't really give a shit if you're from Oklahoma. So right. I think Texas rising back to power is a great play. And it would either them or Notre Dame, like a long drought. Haven't had it in a long time. I think both would be great.